Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah bless you all. Okay, let's continue. Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Ameen. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad salatan tufrihuhu wa tus'iduhu turdihi wajzihi biha anna ma huwa ahluhu ya arhamar rahimin wa alihi wa sallim adada anfasi ummatihi. اللهم زدنا ولا تنقصنا وأكرمنا ولا تهنا وأعطنا ولا تحرمنا وآثرنا ولا تؤثر علينا وأرضنا وارض عنا يا كريم. So, Alhamdulillah, last time we saw that Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam has, after many decades, he's met with his youngest brother, or his younger brother, I should say. And so he's told him that, I'm Yusuf, and don't be sad about what they've been doing. It's over. And he must have told him, I have a plan. So anyway, Sayyidina Yusuf's plan is to keep his brother with him in Egypt. And as we see in some coming verses, that there was no way he could have, justifiably kept him, except through this means that we're going to see today. And وَكَذَلِكَ كِدْنَا لِيُوسُف. And this was this plan Allah made for Yusuf in order to make it work this way. So this would ensure that his brother stays with him. It would ensure that his other brothers, his full brother stays with him. His other brothers are put in a very difficult spot. And it puts a lot of pressure on them. And they end up returning to their father. One final test for Sayyidina Yaqub, and for them all to be reunited after the brothers learn their lesson, when they're broken sufficiently, and then they learn, yes, we were wrong, we should not have done this, and look what Allah does to those people who others try to harm. So let's see. Verses فَلَمَّا جَهَّزَهُمْ بِجَهَازِهِمْ جَعَلَ السِّقَايَةِ فِي رَحْلِ أَخِيهِ ثم أذن مؤذن أيتها العير إنكم لسارقون. When Joseph had provided them with their supplies, he slipped the royal cup into his brother's bag. Then a herald cried, O people of the caravan, you must be thieves. So what's happening here? فَلَمَّا جَهَّزَهُمْ بِجَهَازِهِمْ. Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam will have sent his brothers off after having taken care of them. So bijahazihim, so just like he honored them in the past, he will have them honored them now at this time. So all 11 of them are there, and they've had all the supplies that they've come to buy have been put into loaded onto their camels. They've been given everything, they've loaded them onto their camels, and it's through this means that Sayyidina Yusuf executes his plan. جعل السقاية في رحل أخيه. So when that happened, he took the siqaya, which we're talking about. So there's a couple of positions Abu Saud mentions. Most people say it's a cup, right? The king's goblet that he used to drink from. Others say siqaya is also a means of weighing and measuring, but I think the cup and the goblet is a stronger position. And so it may have been that they had a meal with Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. It may be that they're in the royal palace and they were able to use the king's own special arrangements, or it may have been that the king might have been present. Allahu a'lam. But the important thing is that the king's goblet there was waiting, and so the king, obviously, he will have had all of his own personal artifacts. Will have been of the highest quality, gold, and then with jewels in there. And especially, people who in the past, when people drank wine and these sorts of things, they would have they'd make a big deal out of their cup. So anyway, the king's cup is clearly going to be something expensive and something quite beautiful, something that a potential thief may have his eye on. So what does Sayyidina Yusuf do? Allah says here that he put either directly or through a command to one of his servants, take this and discreetly put this into that man's baggage. And we know that they've done it before, because they put their, their wares that they came to pay for their goods for in the first time, they put that discreetly into the bag. So so this is, this is what was done. Either Yusuf directly does it, alayhi salatu wasalam, or it's under one of his servants under his command. Then he says, ثُمَّ أَذَّنَ مُؤَذِّنٌ. Then it seems like, as Imam al-Bikhai says, it seems like Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, to make sure things go as naturally as possible. I don't think his brother knew what was going on, the youngest brother. The others clearly didn't. And the muaddin, the person who called out, he must have been someone, with a significant, role in the palace. So he goes out and he addresses them. So Yusuf may have just told them, because they know, he knows things, he knows things of the unseen, these sorts of things. That Yusuf may have just told them they've got the king's goblet. So without actually addressing the matter himself. So this person goes out and he says, أَيَّتُهَا الْعِيرُ إِنَّكُمْ لَسَارِقُونَ. O people of the caravan, you must be thieves. You are thieves. And then إِنَّكُمْ, nominal sentence with inna, and then the lam of emphasis here. سَارِقُونَ ism fa'il. So really in a very emphatic way, he said, you are thieves. And so it could have been some of the narration, some of the position of the Mufassirin is that Sayyidina Yusuf is actively involved. Imam al-Biqai suggests that he just set the events in motion, and it's someone else speaking on his behalf. So he calls them Ayyatuha al-Ir. The Ir, the wording is initially used to refer to the camels, and then it was extended to apply to the wares the camels carry, and also their riders. So he said, "Oh travelers, oh riders, oh camel men, you're all thieves." So he's going to say that. So clearly this is a strong accusation. It's been made in public, so they're going to take it seriously. And people, when it comes to matters of their honor and their dignity, they do, because it can make someone really angry. Like, how dare you accuse us of this? So he says, you are thieves, right? Not must be, you are. Then he says, قالوا وأقبلوا عليهم ماذا تفقدون. They asked, turning back, what have you lost? So the brothers turn around and they start walking towards these people, and as they're doing so, they say, what are you missing? Which is really, like Abu Saud says, that they don't say what's been stolen, they say what are you missing, to subtly imply we're not thieves, we haven't taken anything, and we would not take anything. The most likely scenario is you've misplaced it. So what are you missing? Not what have you lost either. What are you missing right now? Like what's absent from you? So they're saying this whilst they're walking up and whilst they're going towards them, which indicates that a thief would turn around and run. But they're showing complete. I mean, the brothers, no one did steal anything, so it is true that they didn't steal. But they're showing the confidence a person who knows he hasn't done anything would show, as opposed to someone who's nervous, someone who's stolen something. He just want to just shoot off. So ماذا تفقدون, what are you missing? So they go and it's like they're being very helpful, and they're asking with good adab and manners that what are you missing, like can we help in any particular way? So then the people of the palace say, the herald along with the guards replied, قالوا نفقد صواع الملك ولمن جاء به حمل بعير وأنا به زعيم. And the herald along with the guards replied. So some said this was Yusuf saying it, but it's stronger when he's not involved. So it was these people. They replied, we have lost the king's measuring cup, and whoever brings it will be awarded a camel load of grain. and I am the guarantor of that. I guarantee it. So قالوا نفقد, present tense, we are missing. It's lost, we can't find it. صواع الملك. So either the goblet, as I said the the measuring cup, it's lost. That's what we're missing. So clearly, it's something desirable. Someone must have taken it. And then they say, وَلِمَنْ جَاءَ بِهِ حِمْلُ بَعِيرٍ, and whoever brings it, whoever produces it, and ja'a, as we said, either whatever is coming is slow or tremendous. So there's a few other versions of the meaning. So here, whoever brings this tremendous cup, right, himlu ba'ir, will have the what a camel can carry of lives, of grain, which is a large amount. It's worth quite a lot. Remember, there's a drought going on, and so what they've done is they've given these people a chance to return the property without being searched. And so sometimes, someone could say, okay, yeah, let's have a look. It's not here, it's not here. Oh, look, how did it get here? It's in my bag. I've never seen that one before. And so they could try to return it, and and not necessarily prove themselves as liars and as thieves. So rather just to show, okay, I don't know how it got there, must have been an honest mistake, but here I have it back. And then you can also, they also get something extra out of it. So a thief would probably take this, right? A thief would think, okay, I can get away with it without being accused, and especially in their law, as we're going to see, and I won't get punished, and I'll get some grain out of it. In their law, there was a stipulation: if someone gets caught stealing, he becomes a slave of the person he was stealing from. And because Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam is here, he's got the king's cup. So it's as though he's stolen from Yusuf. Right? It's a very clever plan. So anyway, so they say whoever brings it back, you've got this opportunity. Well, أَنَا بِهِ زَعِيمًا, I guarantee this. I guarantee you'll get this. So normally you'd listen to someone like this in this situation. They said, قالوا تالله لقد علمتم ما جئنا لنفسد في الأرض وما كنا سارقين. Joseph's brother said, by Allah, you know well that we did not come to cause trouble in the land, nor are we thieves. So they use this oath, tallahi, and it can only be used with the name Allah and Ar-Rahman, tallahi wa tar-Rahmani, and it's usually used when a person is expressing wonder or shock, you can say. So here they're shocked and they're swearing an oath by Allah. We are in a state of shock. They're saying, we swear by Allah, we didn't come to cause corruption in the land. Ma ji'na, like they're using the word ja'ana as well, or whatever they were saying, Allah's expressed it like this. That as though they're saying, we're better than this. Why? We're better than this. And there's laqad alimtum, But how? Because they've been with them, they've spoken to them, they've had a couple of sittings with them. Yusuf knows, alayhi salatu wasalam, maybe he was there watching, and they've showed that, look, we were honest people. We said we have a brother, now we bought our brother. And look, we've shown ourselves to be decent, truthful men. And from that you can deduce that we're honest. By God, we didn't come to cause corruption in the land. And so corruption can be of many forms, and thievery and stealing and theft is one form of it, because you're depriving people of their hard-earned property, and then no one feels safe, and then people start mistrusting each other, and things do get stolen, and then what someone's worked really hard for, it gets sold for pittance elsewhere, and it really does lower in the standard of a society when there are thieves about. And وَمَا كُنَّا سَارِقِينَ, and by God, you also know that we are not thieves. We've never been thieves. We've never stolen in the past, right? And so they put it across that you should know so well that you should be able to, this from us, even though they don't know every detail about them. But they're saying, that we're not like this. So they've affirmed their innocence in a very strong way with the, with the oath, and they're saying, you know, you know us. Ma ji'na linufsida, we didn't come to cause corruption. Fasad is to take something away from its balanced state of being to an imbalanced, corrupted state. Fil ardi, in the land, or on earth literally, but in the land, that if we didn't come to cause any corruption here. And huma kunna sarikin, very strong way of negating that from them as well. So then قالوا فما جزاؤه إن كنتم كاذبين. Look at this. So Joseph's men asked, what should be the price for theft if you are lying? Saying that, okay, so this is intelligence. So basically they're going to get them to choose a punishment. So because they're out of towners, maybe, they didn't want to directly impose the king's law on them. They said, okay, so the thief, what is the punishment? What is his punishment if you're lying? So they're asking them to rule over one of them. You decide that whoever the thief is, what should be his punishment if you're lying about you're not coming here to cause corruption, and you having not come here to steal, because they're saying someone's stolen it. It's not here. We think it's you. So they put the ball in their court, making them choose the outcome of it. And in their Sharia as well, it seemed like, well, this was our, so some have said that the rule was something else in the king's law, but here in their Sharia, it was that if you steal, that you become a prisoner of, a slave of the person you steal from. So they have had to offer up this solution. So it's very cleverly done. So then they say, they ask this question now. Then, okay, so what do you say then? That whoever steals it, what is his punishment to be if you're lying, if you aren't thieves, and if you just turn out that someone's stolen something, what we're going to do with them? قالوا جزاؤه من وجد في رحله فهو جزاؤه وكذلك نجزي الظالمين. They said the price will be the enslavement of the one in whose bag the cup is found. And this is understood from the coming verses, that is enslavement. This is how we punish the wrongdoers. So his punishment, the one in whoever's baggage this is found, that's his punishment. Basically, it's this huge consequence. And kadhalika, in no less than that, in that particular way, in such a significant way, do we recompense the zalimeen, those who take something that doesn't belong to them. Dhulm is putting something in other than its proper place, one form of it. And so this is how we punish those who are wrongdoers. So it's all been set up now. The in Binyamin's bag, you'll find the cup, and they've set it up that they've said we're innocent, but whoever does have it, we all agree should receive this punishment, that he should be enslaved. And it's really cleverly done. And as we'll see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Allah made this plan, because there's no way Yusuf could have had it done. There was no legitimate way where Yusuf could have kept his brother behind without raising suspicion or anything like this. And so they've been boxed into this situation, and this is going to be the start of the trials for them, the trials that which will have lasted a good few months, because the traveling time, going home and coming back and everything, and it's gonna cause them to really regret their actions anyway. So let's stop here, and we'll continue from this point, inshallah ta'ala. Allah bless you all. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.